He was known as the Boy Plunger and the Great Bear of Wall Street. Jesse Lauriston Livermore is one of the most legendary, enigmatic, and tragic figures in the history of financial markets. His life was a roller coaster of incredible wealth and crushing poverty, a testament to the thrilling highs and devastating lows of speculation. Born in 1877, Jesse Livermore wasn't destined for Wall Street. He grew up on a farm in Massachusetts, but his mind was wired for numbers, not plows. From a young age, he showed a remarkable talent for mathematics. At just 14, he ran away from home with his mother's blessing and a few dollars in his pocket, heading to Boston. He landed a job as a board boy at a stock brokerage, chalking up stock prices for traders. It was here, watching the numbers flicker and dance across the board, that his real education began. Livermore didn't just see numbers. He saw patterns. He started keeping a small notebook, meticulously recording price movements and looking for recurring trends. He developed a theory. History repeats itself in the stock market because human nature, driven by greed, fear, and hope, never changes. At 15, he put his theory to the test. He took $5 to a bucket shop, an off-exchange betting parlor for stocks. He placed his bet and walked away with a profit of $3.12. It wasn't a huge sum, but it was the start of everything. He honed his skills in these bucket shops, learning to read the tape and anticipate price swings with uncanny accuracy. By the time he was 20, he had earned over $1,000, a small fortune back then. His success became his problem. The bucket shops knew that when Livermore won, they lost. Soon, he was banned from nearly every shop in Boston. His reputation as the Boy Plunger was born. To continue trading, he had to go to the heart of the action, New York City. On the New York Stock Exchange, Livermore could finally trade for real. He wasn't just betting against the house anymore. He was playing in the big leagues. His first major coup came in 1901 during a chaotic event known as the Northern Pacific Corner. While others were panicking, Livermore saw an opportunity. He shorted the stock, betting its price would fall, and made a significant profit. This trade cemented his reputation as a fearless and brilliant speculator. But it was the panic of 1907 that made him a Wall Street legend. As the market spiraled into one of the worst financial crises of the era, Livermore was one of the few who saw it coming. He built massive short positions, betting against the entire market. As stocks crashed and fortunes were wiped out, Livermore's positions grew more and more profitable. When the dust settled, he had made $1 million, an astronomical sum at the time. The media dubbed him the Great Bear of Wall Street. He had single-handedly profited from the market's collapse. Livermore's approach to trading was revolutionary. He wasn't just gambling. He had a system, a philosophy that traders still study today. First, he preached cutting losses quickly. He famously said, "The first loss is the best loss." He knew that holding on to a losing trade was a recipe for disaster, eroding not just your capital, but your confidence. Second, he believed in letting winners run. Once he was in a profitable trade, he had the patience and discipline to hold on, allowing it to reach its full potential. This required immense self-control, resisting the urge to take small, quick profits. Third, timing was everything. Livermore would wait patiently, sometimes for weeks or months, for the perfect setup. He called this waiting for the line of least resistance to reveal itself. He stressed that it wasn't the thinking that made you money, but the sitting and waiting. He was a master of studying market trends, analyzing price and volume to understand the psychology of the crowd. And he warned against overtrading, recognizing that the constant need for action often leads to poor decisions. These principles formed the core of his success and are timeless lessons for any aspiring trader. Of course, his most famous moment came during the Great Crash of 1929. Throughout the Roaring '20s, as the market soared to dizzying, unsustainable heights, Livermore remained skeptical. He saw the speculative mania for what it was, a bubble waiting to burst. While everyone else was buying, Livermore quietly began to short the market. He built his positions methodically, going against the euphoric sentiment of an entire nation. When Black Tuesday hit in October 1929, and the market collapsed in a historic wave of selling, Livermore's bets paid off on a scale that is hard to comprehend. It's estimated he made over $100 million from the crash, the equivalent of billions today. In a single day, he became one of the richest men in the world. But his timing was both a blessing and a curse. He was vilified in the press, accused of profiting from the misery of a nation plunging into the Great Depression. The immense wealth brought intense public scrutiny and personal danger. Despite his genius in the markets, Livermore's personal life was a wreck. He suffered from severe depression, a condition likely worsened by the extreme stress and volatility of his profession. He was married 3 times, with each relationship filled with turmoil and heartbreak. The man who could master the impersonal logic of the market was unable to find peace in his own life. After the 1929 crash, his magic began to fade. The market changed, new regulations were introduced, and he found it difficult to adapt. His legendary fortune began to dwindle. He made a series of bad trades, breaking his own rules. The discipline that had made him rich abandoned him. In 1934, Jesse Livermore, the man who had once been worth over $100 million, declared bankruptcy for the 3rd time in his life. The final years were bleak. Estranged from his family and haunted by his losses, he fell deeper into despair. In November 1940, at the age of 63, Jesse Livermore checked into a hotel in New York City and tragically took his own life. In his pocket, he left a note addressed to his wife, writing, "My life has been a failure." Was his life a failure? In financial terms, it ended that way. But his legacy is far from it. The story of his life, immortalized in the book Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, remains one of the most important texts ever written on trading. It's a Bible for speculators, filled with timeless wisdom about market psychology, risk management, and the discipline required to succeed. Livermore's story is a powerful cautionary tale. It shows the incredible potential of the financial markets, but also their inherent peril. It teaches us that financial success means nothing without personal well-being and emotional balance. He mastered the game of stocks, but he could never master himself. Jesse Livermore's ghost still haunts Wall Street. He is a symbol of both the brilliant heights a speculator can reach and the tragic depths to which they can fall. His journey serves as a timeless reminder that in the world of trading, the greatest battle is not with the market, but with the conflicting human emotions of hope, fear, and greed that lie within us all. Thanks for watching. If you found this story fascinating, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the lives of historical figures. See you next time.